Like watching a movie, you sit down and there's a complete surrender to the film, which takes very little concentration, very little effort. It's just sit down, watch something, be glued to it the same way you might be glued to Instagram or TikTok. Whereas approaching any book, but for both of us, there's a sense of trained concentration and analysis, like a more rational, and I wonder if that part of the brain just is a little bit more rational and it doesn't
Hmm.
get scared the same way as when I'm completely able to surrender to a horror movie and sit down in a theater that's dark
Yeah.
and just stare at it.
I think that's part of it. And one of what I was also just thinking was like, it would just take so many lines to like accurately describe like a horrifying scene. You know, it would just be like taxing and it doesn't all happen at once. Like when you look at some like a mortified body, right? Like it's horrifying and you see it all at once. And if you were to, and that's like scary, but if you were to have to describe this scene of for like a murder or something like that, it's like you have to take so much to take like 5 pages. And I feel like fear is something that's more instantaneous than drawn out.
Especially the contrast between a shock value jump scare versus a similar attempt at that in a book. It's just not going to be the same. But some horror really depends on mood and setting and creating an atmosphere. And I think books can do that very well. And I think great
Hmm.
authors, if they were willing to tackle it, would be. It's important to note that I think we're on the minority side as readers here. I think horror literature or horror books and popular horror are some of the best selling books in existence, right?